habit hack time. Let's go. Let's not mess around. This is a serious one today. What the heck? Come on, man. It's not funny. This is not funny. You got your babushka on today? What's going on? Come on, put it on right. This is a, it's not a live show, but it's a show. Dude, come on. Today's habit hack. This guy. What the heck? He said he wanted a tie. I said, I don't want to have a tie, man. So I guess you decided something else. All right. Today's habit hack. As promised, today's habit hack is number 198. And we are getting closer and closer to our 365 habit hacks for half the national average. And you guys, today's is really about, it's going to encapsulate a lot of them. So for this week, and today's is privilege is poison. And it really, it comes from the book Relentless. And I loved that line, privilege is poison. And if you think about it, privilege is poison oftentimes because privilege tends to, now, first thing you think of, sorry, I'm going to go back. First thing you think of when you think of privilege, what is it? Like usually financial privilege, but there's all kinds of privilege. There's privilege of intelligence. There's privilege of simple privilege, eyesight, use of your hands, use of your legs, you know, no handicap. So all kinds of privilege. You have privilege of, you know, living and being born and being an American citizen and having the privilege of being able to travel. Boy, what's going on? You're bored? You're bored of this? He's like, I'm embarrassed. I have a lot of privilege. Dude, come on. You got a lot of privilege. Doesn't mean you can just leave the show. So today's habit hack is about when you have a lot of privilege. Oftentimes, you just don't work as hard because you might have some skill and you can get along without working really hard. And so yesterday's habit hack was that, you know, working hard doesn't cost anything. It's free. But working hard is what's going to get you skill. But if you have talent, that is privilege. And so talent alone is not going to get you to the top of anything. This guy, he's on one today. Come here. Get back in the show. Here, let me move him over. Come on, boy. Get on your side. Come on, let's go. Come on. Showtime. Let's go. There we go. Move over. Okay, here we go. There we go. He's like, where's my snack? I'm not going to do anything. See, he's privileged. So today's habit hack is so yesterday about hard work. Oftentimes privilege, when you have privilege, you don't work as hard when you're young. And those habits of working hard and really getting the grit, I can't remember her first name, oh my gosh, but she wrote the book named Grit, Duckworth. You guys probably know. But anyway, she talked about it's usually tragedy that helps you get through some of this or get grit. And so, oh my gosh, it's late. My brain has been working all day long and it is not privileged to have a lot of firing action right now. But grit is inside. And that's what today's habit hack is that when we see people with privilege and when sometimes you're young and you're jealous of people who might have more money than you or better looks than you, or maybe you have some kind of disability, or maybe you have some kind of mental situation happening, and you have to work really, really hard for everything you do. That is such a privilege, because even though it's hard in the beginning, you know what's really hard? Working really hard when you've never worked hard in your life. And so I was gonna share with you guys a story, because when you start a habit, first you have to have an idea, a thought, and then you have a vision about that thought. And then after that vision, after that thought, after that vision, then you have to put in work. And this is where privilege becomes poison. If you've never really had to work hard to have something, kids that were young and they were a little chubby, they work really hard to stay fit, and guess what? A lot of them stay fit for the rest of their lives. People that are just naturally thin and they don't have to do a thing, you hear about, you know, I can eat whatever I want. I'm like, wow, that's not anybody I know. And then guess what? When they hit their 30s or their 40s, they can't eat whatever they want, and they can't contain themselves. And so then they struggle even harder for those people that really had to work hard their whole life. So that's just an example of how privilege can be poison. I wanted to talk to you guys about a situation that it happened a long time ago, but it was just a kind of a little story. And I'm at 5 minutes. Are you bored, boy? Should I tell the story? It's kind of a sad one. And so that's why I was telling Charlie, like, this is a little serious. It's a little sad. So don't be messing around. But, you know, of course, Charlie, he's always got to be messing around. You're privileged, dude. You're privileged and you know it. He knows it. So anyway, there was this homeless couple that lived down the street, and I used to walk past them all the time, say hi. And but I always thought in my head, like, wow, it's so sad that they're homeless. I wonder what happened. Or, you know, I'd always make these stories up in my head. And they got worse and worse. He had an injury on his foot, and it was swelling. He couldn't walk. It was starting to turn purple. I was really nervous, like that he was going to lose it. And then one day I actually saw them. He and his he was in a wheelchair, and he and his girlfriend were shot. It wasn't even a drive-by. It was a walk-by, and they shot everybody on the corner. And this is real. I mean, this really happened. And when they shot everybody, his girlfriend got shot in the face. He did not get shot. Somebody else got shot in the back, and somebody else got shot. But this is a terrible story, I know. And hopefully, it doesn't bum you guys too far out. But the point is that I helped out with the scene, and I helped, you know, somebody called the ambulance. But long story, too late to be short, but long story finishing is that a few months later, I know, I needed comfort. Thank you. He's like, you're derailing, don't cry. But the point is that in the very end, when I finally saw them again, he was so excited to see me. He and his girlfriend, they both survived. Well, wasn't shot. She was shot in the face and the chest. And so I didn't think she was going to survive. But they saw me months later, and I have a picture of them. We took a picture together because I was so excited. And all those times I passed him thinking about the lack of privilege he had. And when I saw him, he's like, we knew we were going to make it because we knew how to fight out of a hole. And in that particular day, they were getting their own apartment. And he's like, this was the best day of our life, and in our recent life. We've been homeless for years, and we're so excited we got to see you because I was actually helping. I was helping. I was kind of still traumatized by it, but anyway, so today's habit hack. Don't get too sad about any hard thing that you had to live through or live. I know you're embarrassed because you don't have to live through anything except maybe a small crate. The crate's a tiny bit too small for you. But don't get sad if you have to live through anything tough. Don't get sad if you didn't have the things that other people had when you're young, or you wished you had something else. That grit, that tenacity, that hard work that you are learning just to barely make it with everybody else later on in life is what's going to get you out of your biggest hole. So that's today's habit hack. Privilege is poison. So don't worry about privilege. Be okay not having the things right now. You want to get them and earn them later. All right, that was a long one, a little convoluted, but this is what it is. I'm about to go to bed. I'm finishing up 3 more habits that I have so I can check them off, and then we're gonna hit the hay. We got a long day tomorrow. All right, bye, boy. You okay? No more babushkas.